Hey there, I am Marlena Bayless for my corporate Black girls. Here are 3 mistakes that I've seen, I've also experienced in my own career, and I would like to have you avoid. If you're new here, I am a coach, I'm a consultant. I own the company Pink Flamingo Retreats, which is a company that hosts retreats for Black women to rejuvenate and rest and restore the color to their own career and professional lives and personal lives as well. And the theme of it really is that pink flamingos actually are the only animal that lose their color when they're depleted and they're physically tired. And so as a similar analogy, I want us to know that we deserve rest and rejuvenation and recovery, and we deserve safe spaces where we can do that. So let's get to it. 3 mistakes that I see. The number 1 mistake is not owning your impact. And when you don't own your impact, you give it away and you don't get compensated for it. So I want to share something with you. About 6 years ago, I was in a role where I was managing a development team as well as the relationships with the executives for the HR and finance business units for a Fortune 500 company. And so I joined this team as the whole department was being developed. So the leader was new and he hired me as well as 2 men at the same time. Now, one of those men was someone that held patents. And as I negotiated my new rate, my new salary for this role, I was met with some resistance because one of the men had patents under his name, and the new director did not feel like he should be offering him the same thing he's offering me because he has patents. Now, I said, okay, we negotiated some other things. I said, okay, I really want the opportunity. I wanted to move into IT as a field, a traditional field. And so that's what I did, right? Fast forward about 3 or 4 months in, this director of mine comes to me and says, hey, you're doing amazing. You're really killing it. You're really building relationships with the clients. You're really working well with your development team. How are you doing that? Because my counterpart was struggling. The man with the patents was having a hard time. And when he asked me this, initially I said, I'm just doing what everybody else is doing, because I got nervous. I got scared. I didn't know how to actually share with him like what I was doing differently. And some of this I have learned as a coach and getting coached is that some of that is about language and really understanding and really seeing yourself for everything that you're contributing. But in this video, I want to focus on the mistake that I made was not owning my impact as a corporate Black girl. And I needed to have done that. And so something I want you to not do is to do that. And so I've had clients that haven't done that. I had one client that was with her company 10 years, and she really struggled with, at the end of that 10-year period, not being fully recognized for her contributions. But some of that came because she wasn't owning it along the way. She was just doing it. And we got to stop doing that because it will hold you back every single time. And so looking back, I should have told him, well, no, my strength of communication, my strength of being able to relate to people. I've taken the Strength Finder assessment. If you haven't, you should. That also give you the language for how to articulate your strengths and why your impact is the way it is, right? And also help you see it and reflect on it a little bit stronger. So if you haven't done that, you should definitely go do that. So one of my top 5 strengths is relator. So my ability to connect with people is natural to one of my gifts. And so I was leveraging that in that role, and that was also helping me. The other thing is that I'm strategic. That's another top 5 strength of mine. And in that role, that really helped me make sure that we were thinking strategically as a team when I was working with my executives, as well as planning out my product management work with the teams, right? That also was contributing to that. And so I want you to know that just because you don't necessarily have the words doesn't mean you're not showing up in a way that's making a very unique impact. And so I want you to own your impact. That's the number 1 mistake I see. The second mistake I see is staying too long in roles that do not serve you. Whether it does not serve you in your actual skill development. It does not serve you because the environment is toxic. Like in my case, I had a toxic role that I ended up leaving in 2019. The environment got to be very, very toxic to me. And so it started to damage my mental and my physical health. And I needed to really walk away from that. But I probably should have did it a year sooner, right? To save myself a lot of heartache physically and mentally. Leave the workplaces, or financially. I've seen people stay in jobs, and then when they exit, they're so frustrated because their income power is so much less than if they would not have stayed. And I did not struggle with that earlier in my career. I had an internal rule. If I did not see a income increase, I left every 2 years, because that's how you got a better raise, essentially, especially in this current market. Leaving is going to be the way to get your earning power up. And speaking to earning power, number 3, the third one I see us consistently make is not negotiating. I did this at the beginning of my career. I do not struggle with this now, but at the beginning of my career, I really struggled with this. And so whether you're a new corporate Black girl or a veteran corporate Black girl, I want you to know negotiating is always on the table, and you need to be negotiating like a mediocre white man. You need to have no qualms about saying, I need 10K, 20K, 30K more than what they're offering. And I want you to, if you're not negotiating and you're not nervous, then you're not asking for enough money. That is like, before you even go look at the market and to see like what you should, the range, you need to be asking for more, because the budget is there. Because if they're offering it to you, they got to offer that to others, and they would be offering them more. Just statistically, we know Black women make 60 cents to the dollar of an average white man. So they have more money. Ask for it. And not just the money, more vacation time, more stock options, more 401k match. Like, there are other things. You need to look at the full totality of the package that you're being offered and see where there's something that would actually alleviate or help you in your life that you would really enjoy. Because sometimes they will say, oh, you're at the max of the budget. That might tell you you're not in the right role, first of all, because if you come in at the top, it's going to be really hard to get a substantial raise every year if you're already entering in at the top of their budget for that particular role. So that might be a sign of something else. Number 2, vacation. Like, what else can you negotiate? Because there has to be capacity somewhere. And that's also a sign of value, right? They don't want to start over the process of recruiting. Recruiting is an expense for a company. It does not bring in the potential to bring in revenue comes from the personnel. And so I want you to know that you need to ask for more dollars. I hope that this is helpful to you. I would love for you to put in the comments what corporate girly mistakes you made, maybe early or right now you find yourself in, and what else you would like me to talk about around this topic. And I just love you. And I just want to let you know, as a corporate Black girl, you need to get everything you deserve, sis. You are doing the work. And as corporate Black girls, we often don't even know our capacity. We often don't know what good looks like, because we tend to over deliver from our cultural conditioning and societal conditioning. We tend to overdo and overgive. And so you better be getting everything you deserve in the meantime. So I hope this helps you. Love you. Talk to you soon.